Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Can't wait to dive into today's topic, which is all about owning the week before it owns you. This is the biggest mindset shift that you can make. It is going from reactive to proactive. It is taking control of your life in as much as you can. Remember, I totally understand some things are out of our control, but we must control what we can control and begin to let go of that of which we can't. But one of the biggest things that we need to do is set the tone right from the beginning of the week. It's like, think about it, any football game or sports game, you want to set the tone right from the beginning. However you want to play, that's from your first at-bat or your first defense or your first offensive base play. Set the tone for the rest of the game. And that goes for Mondays, or really how I look at it is Sunday nights, which we'll be talking about. So the first thing we need to realize is that we need to be proactive rather than reactive. The majority of the world, and trust me, I've been a part of it, right? I've been part of that mindset, is reactive. You are not intentional about what you are trying to accomplish for the week. You're kind of going along with whatever needs to be done at work or with your kids' school or with your household or whatever it might be. And you're not setting an intention for what you need to do. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have certain responsibilities and you can't abdicate those away, right? I get it. You need to do and you need to take care of your everyday life. But that doesn't mean that there can't be another part of you, 10%, 20%, that looks to move forward on a weekly basis. If you've thought about your goals for the year or your quarter, and you've begin to break them down into what's possible, you want to understand is that those things never come to fruition. They never happen without first intention and second, actually scheduling them to make them work for the week. So what we need to do Sunday night is begin to look at our schedule. Have we set our intention for the week? Are we focused on what needs to get done? Now, again, I always say you should not have a million different goals, but come up with that big goal. And whatever that goal is, let's make sure that we've got it in the week so that we start to become proactive, that we know that we have some exercise of control over our life. Maybe not our whole life, but we do a part. And when we start to take control over that, trust me, it begins to snowball. And the reason is that you start to build confidence. And as you build confidence, and you get small wins under your belt, you want to take on more. You want to say, wow, how far can I take this, right? But it happens step by step and week by week. So all we need to do is get one good week under our belt. And let me tell you exactly how I would love for you to start this. First, start with that intention. The first intention is that I'm going to be focused and intentional instead of reactive and overwhelmed by all of what life throws my way. And so how do we do that? Well, really, we have a small window in order to set the tone for the entire week. And that starts with each day when we wake up. That's the truth, because the day may get away from us, but every day we start fresh. Now, we carry the past with us to a degree, but in terms of our mindset, we start fresh for the day. And so if the evening before we set the schedule for the day, we can then set the intention as well for what we're going to do in that first 20 minutes to 30 minutes of the day that you're going to carve out as your time. Now, you might say, I don't have time in the morning. I've got to get the kids ready. I've got to get myself ready. I've got to get ready for work. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I get it. The only way that this happens is if you wake up a little bit earlier. And the only way that that happens is if you go to bed a little bit earlier. Now, again, you might say, I need some downtime. I need some time to decompress. I need to watch my favorite shows. I need to catch up with this, and this. Understood. But if we always are making these specific excuses, then that means you're saying no to yourself. Like it's one or the other. You're either making the time for yourself or you're saying no to your goals. And by saying no to your goals, you're saying no to you and that you aren't as important as everyone else around you. And I think that you need to be. And I've shared this before. I shared it last week as well, is that it is difficult to be selfless. It is difficult to provide great service to those people around you, to the world around you, and even those that you care most about, if you do not fill up your cup to a degree. If you have more energy, more health, more love, more passion, more energy, you think that person's going to be able to give more than the person with brain fog, fatigue, no time, irritability, overwhelm? Of course. They're going to have more of them to give. And it starts by going to bed just a little bit earlier so that you can wake up a little bit earlier. Now, I know you're only trading the half hour on the back end the evening before for the front end on the first part of the day, but here's the thing. When you tackle that first 30 minutes of your day and you take back just a little bit of time for you to work on your most important intention of whatever your biggest goal is, what's that do? Well, after that 30 minutes, you're like, wow, I'm proud of myself. I prepped my meals for the day. I got in a 30-minute workout. I got in a 30-minute walk. I had time to meditate for myself. Again, whatever your goal is, calming anxiety, okay, meditation, going for a walk, getting in shape, meal prep, exercise, like whatever it is. So when you're looking at this, you are now saying, oh, I am doing something to move towards my goals. I am worthy. I am deserving of achieving that goal. That is what you're telling yourself. Now, when you have that mindset, then you shift to the rest of your day. And your rest of your day may not necessarily change, but you feel great that you made monumental strides, because really you can do that in 30 minutes. 60 minutes maximum a day, moving towards your goals. And I like it if you can get 30 minutes in the morning or in 30 minutes at the end of the day to end cap your days. What are you doing? You're focused on your goals, right? So maybe you meal prep the night before and you do your exercise that morning. Well, that's a perfect way to end cap the day. You lay out everything that you need. And what are you doing? Well, before you go to bed, thinking about your goals. When you wake up, thinking about your goals. Middle of the day, family, work, etc. I get it. I'm part of that as well. But that's what I try to do. And then I try to get one more little nugget if I can, and that's at lunchtime. If I can decompress for 30 minutes and I can shift back into my intentions of what I'm trying to do and create in my life, it's an amazing win. But really, those end caps of the day is what you want to be able to do to achieve this. So it's imperative that you don't hit that snooze button first thing in the morning. Can't do it. You lose time in your day. So your alarm clock should be outside of arm's reach. Make yourself get out of bed. I know it's not easy. I know it's difficult, but by your alarm clock waking you up, and then you hitting the snooze button, you're going to be more groggy. You really are. Your body's telling you wake up, and then you go back to bed and you're kind of falling back into sleep, and then you're going to wake up groggy when the alarm clock goes off again. It's a brutal cycle. So you want to fix your sleep. You want to improve your sleep. That's first and foremost. Everybody needs to do that. I can't recommend that enough. Run the stress mood and metabolism test. Figure out what's going on with your thyroid, your adrenals, your hormones, and you'll be able to fix that. There's just no doubt about it. So here's the thing though. Fix the sleep. Get up, use a wake light, whatever you need to do to wake up naturally, wake up, start to wake up with energy. But even if you don't have the energy, by setting the attention and following through on it, you will start to get the energy that you need. The next thing that I want you to do is this. As you're focusing on what is your biggest thing that needs to be accomplished for that week, you write it down the night before, and then you look at it that next morning. Put a Post-it note stuck to your bathroom mirror. When you wake up in the morning, you're probably going to use the bathroom, probably going to brush your teeth, maybe splash some water on your face. You're going to be looking at that mirror, write down your intention for the week. It might be your focus word, focus sentence. Okay, after that, here's what I want you to do. Brian Tracy has written a bunch of great books. I used to read all of Brian Tracy's books in the late 90s and early 2000s. He wrote one, he's got so many great ones. So does Robert Allen, but Brian Tracy's got a great one that says, eat that frog. And basically, here's what it meant. Do the hardest thing first. That's it. Like you might have a list of 10 things that you need to do. Well, Robert Allen said, do your 1A and 1B. Everything else comes after that. Brian Tracy said, what's the thing that you don't want to do? But by doing that one thing, it'll move you light years ahead towards your goal. Do that thing first. It's the thing that you don't want to do. Well, I'll tell you right now, willpower is really never going to be higher than it is in the morning. And I know that you might not be feeling the energy. You can fix that. You really can. But if you start to let the day get a hold of you, you become a part of the day. You become a part of the day's plan, someone else's plan. Your work, your family, the calls that you get, whatever it is. It's no longer your day. You become a part of the day. So in order for you to have your own part of the day, it really should happen intention first thing in the morning. Eat that frog. Hardest things get done first. It is the way that you're able to do them. And remember, couple that with what we teach in IHP Mastery, which is the 5-minute rule, right? Tell yourself, tell your brain. I've used this with my daughters many times. Listen, you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it, but just do it for 5 minutes. If after 5 minutes, I will set a timer. If after 5 minutes you still don't want to do it, then you can stop. We always did that when I ran a nutrition and exercise clinic as well. And we'd say, listen, yeah, clients would come in. I don't really feel like working out today. I'm tired. I totally get it. Let's just start for 5 minutes. Let's just go through some dynamic warm-ups, nothing too crazy. If you want to stop after 5 minutes, we'll call it a day. I think once in like 20 years, someone said, yeah, I think I'm done for today. Literally once out of the maybe 1,000 times we use that. So trust me, this is one of the best ways to just trick your mind to get started. I do it with myself all the time with like, I'm not really in the mood to write right now. Well, because sometimes you're not, like, just not in the mood to write. Like, you have to be kind of in the mood. All right, just start writing for 5 minutes. Just start. That's it. Just start. And if you want to stop in 5 minutes, then you can go do whatever it is that you want to do. And I tell myself the same thing as well. So use that 5-minute rule, tackle whatever the item is that you should be doing, but you keep putting off. That is the one that is your ticket to the life that you are looking for. The last one is this: do a Friday check-in. I'm going to do another podcast on this, kind of a follow-up with a take charge challenge. So stay tuned for next week as well. It's going to be a great take charge challenge. But you want to be able to reward yourself. You want to look at the progress that you're making, because here's why. Day in and day out, boring. It is, right? It's literally, success is boring. It honestly is, because you're doing all of the small things every single day. But ultimately, it is the stacking of those small chips that ultimately allows you to climb to the highest heights. That's the truth. It is small, boring, systematized things to get to your goals. You want to achieve your goal weight? Okay, well, yes, balance your hormones. Eat a pretty straightforward, boring diet, right? Do your boring exercise. Again, I'm calling them boring because they can be exciting, but like, it's systematized. Like, I do this on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do this on Saturday. And then I eat this at this time on each weekday. And then I eat this at lunch. It's like, you systematize it, and here's why. So that it's either working or it's not. And if it's not, you have your exact system and you're able to make one variable-based change. But that is how the most successful people ultimately reach their goals. They systematize it, they have it basically the same time every day, and they tackle their hardest things first. All right, hopefully this was helpful. More to come next week, so definitely stay tuned. But I would love, before you go, to leave your top priority, your hardest thing that you want to tackle, in the comments. I would love to read it, and definitely tune in next week when we go over a take charge challenge. Have an amazing start to the week, everybody. Let me know how I can help. And as always, if this show is helpful, do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.